Hey, this is C&D channel. I'm Chris. This is also Chris, and this is MMA for you. We're going to be doing our predictions for UFC on Fox 8, Johnson versus Moraga, which happens on July 27th, man. Can we check this out at Q's Lounge?
We can. Let me give a quick shout out to Rexy right there.
Yep.
And happy Memorial Day to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
One other shout out to my best friend who got me this beanie from Japan.
Yep.
Very stylish, but I don't look that good in it, so I'm probably gonna get a haircut soon, and then I'll put it on. But let's go ahead and get started.
Oh, okay, cool, man. Yeah, well, yeah. This, what do you think of the card, though?
Let's see. Mighty Mouse is on this.
Yeah.
Rory MacDonald.
Yeah.
Robbie Lawler. Misha Cupcake Tate. Jorge Masvidal. I mean, looks like there's a lot of exciting fighters on this card, so it should be. I mean, it's a free fight, right? It's not pay-per-view. So.
Yep, exactly. But these Fox cards are looking like pay-per-views these days. So yeah, let's get started, man. We got Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson versus John Moraga. A lot of people aren't fond of Mighty Mouse's fights. They tend to go to decision. A lot of people think he's kind of a point fighter. Despite all of that, I'm going with Mighty Mouse Johnson to win this one, man. This guy's a resilient dude, super quick, can go 10 rounds. He's on a 3-fight win streak, still pretty young. Fighting a tough guy, though, with some heavy hands. But, who do you got, man?
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go with Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson. He's on a 3-fight win streak. Trains at AMC Pancration. UFC flyweight champion.
Yeah.
Like you said, very resilient, very quick. But, John Moraga is definitely a very game opponent. He's coming off of a 7-fight win streak. Trains at Arizona Combat Sports MMA Lab. Good stand-up, strong wrestling, good takedown defense, and good Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So, this looks like a great UFC flyweight title, battle. Yeah.
One thing about John Moraga, a lot of people probably don't know him because his last 2 fights were on the Facebook prelims, man. I mean, he guillotined Chris Galliasso in his last fight, and before that, he knocked out the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy, not Formiga. But nonetheless, in his fight before that. I forgot who it was, and it's a really well-known guy too.
He's good.
Yeah. He's shown heavy hands, some good striking. He has a good wrestling background as well. Moraga does, and showed some good Brazilian jiu-jitsu. But Mighty Mouse training under Matt Hume. Mid-fight, he's really good at making adjustments. You see, like, the Dodson fight. He's getting beat up on the feet, makes some mid-fight adjustments at the third round. When he gets taken down, he's good at getting back to his feet, and he's a strong wrestler in his own right. I'll go with Johnson. I think it'll be, despite people not knowing who John Moraga would be, I think it's going to be a closer fight than people think. People just don't understand that Moraga is really good, but I gotta go with Demetrious Johnson to win this one.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah. Next fight after that, good welterweight battle here with 2 young welterweight prospects. As they're like, I don't even know if you call them prospects anymore. They're like
they've been fighting for a while, right?
They've been in the UFC for a while now. But we got Jake Ellenberger versus Rory Aries, not the water boy, Aries MacDonald.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a nickname, man. He used to
He's the water boy.
Rory MacDonald used to be the water boy.
Like Adam Sandler?
Yeah. But he changed his nickname to Aries.
Like the Greek.
God of War, dude.
Of War.
But you know what, man? This one's tough for me to call to you, to be honest. I think I know Rory MacDonald's a favorite, and I'm picking him to win. But I do feel there's a good contingent of guys sleeping on Ellenberger here. I might be sleeping on Ellenberger here myself. But Rory Mac, this guy's been training since he was a kid. He's still good now, but he's been training since he was like an early teen. Just an extremely well-rounded guy. Wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing, it's all there. A really great strength and ground and pound, man. This guy's ground and pound is vicious. Trained at TriStar with George St. Pierre. I gotta go with Roy MacDonald to win this one. Who do you got, man?
You got Rory MacDonald?
Oh, yeah.
I got Rory MacDonald also.
Mm-hmm.
Although Jake Ellenberger is a very game opponent.
Mm-hmm.
He's on a 2-fight win streak. Trains at Rain. Heavy hands. Good stand-up. Good knees. Strong wrestling. Good takedown defense. Cardio could use a little bit of help. But, I'm going to go with Rory MacDonald. Rory MacDonald's on a 4-fight win streak.
Mm-hmm.
Trains at TriStar. Strong ground and pound. Very well-rounded. Good kickboxing. Good kicks. Good wrestling. And, good on the ground. Black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I don't think he's a black. I don't think he's belted, but
is he like a brown belt or something?
I'm not too sure about belt. I know his positionally he's just really good when he's on top. I mean, he I believe he armbarred Mike Guyman in his first fight in the UFC, and Guyman's a really good guy on the ground himself. So, yeah, I wouldn't say black belt or anything, but, still very strong there.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah, man. That's it. But you got to watch out for Ellenberger because this guy has a really strong double leg takedown and some really heavy hands. I mean, he just knocked out Nate Marquardt in his last fight within the first round. After the first round, though, his cardio seems to go away. Saw that in the Campman fight, even in the Condit fight a while back. Both these guys have actually lost to Condit. So, yeah, you can't, the thing with Ellenberger, very dangerous. I think Rory might be just a little more well-rounded. But, it's a really good fight between two young, up-and-coming fighters. Okay, next fight after that, we have Ruthless Robbie Lawler fighting Tarek the Sponge Saffiedine. Who do you got, man?
This one took me a little while, but I think I'm going to go with Robbie Lawler.
Mm-hmm.
He's got heavy hands. Definitely, he's got a lot of fights under his belt. He's a veteran. Good kickboxing, good takedown defense. Ground game could use a little bit of help, but I'm going to go with Robbie Lawler.
Yeah, man. Robbie Lawler, if you watch the Melvin Manel fight, I mean, he can change the complexion of a fight with one punch. He knocked out Josh Koscheck in his last fight in his return to 170 and the return to the UFC in a fight many didn't expect him to win. But Tarek Saffiedine, man, the final Strikeforce welterweight champion, I got to go with him. 14-3 record. Despite having some really technical kickboxing, he only has 1 KO. He's not a power puncher and 5 subs. 26 years old, 4-fight win streak, trains at Team Plus, and it shows. This guy's takedown defense is really good, and his overall defense, just in general, is pretty good in the stand-up and whatnot. He has strong leg kicks. You got to see that in the Nate Marquardt fight. And it's just a really technically sound guy. Got to go with Saffiedine to win this one. But Robbie Lawler, heavy-handed dude, man. I'm a bit, always got to be worried at a Lawler fight. But, yeah, I'll go with Saffiedine to win this one. Okay, next fight after that, we got a women's fight as Liz Gorilla Carmouche fights Misha Cupcake Tate. You know what? I'll go with Cupcake Tate, man. This girl is really resilient. She can take a lot of punishment. You watched Julie Kedzie fight. Even the Ronda Rousey fight didn't submit to the first takedown, It took a lot of knees to the face for Kat Zingano to put her away. So, she's only 26 years old, a former Strikeforce Women's Champion, strong wrestler. Stand-up's kind of sloppy, but she, gets the job done. Good top control and good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Who do you got, man?
I really like Cupcakes.
Mm-hmm.
I like brownies and stuff too, but I'm gonna go with Miesha Cupcake Tate.
Mm-hmm.
Former Strike Force Women's Champion, strong wrestling, resilient.
Yeah.
Like you said, stand up is not the most technical.
Yeah.
And but her ground game, she's got good top control when she's on the ground, good Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and her chin is pretty granite. So yeah, I mean, I see this being a pretty one-sided fight, and I'm gonna take
one-sided, huh?
Well, I mean, it's not gonna be that competitive, I don't think.
Yeah. One thing that Liz Carmouche recently fought, her most recent opponent was Ronda Rousey, and she acquitted herself really well when she took the back and got that neck crank. But she has an 8-3 record, but her record's a bit deceiving because her level of competition actually is not, as far as her wins go, not very strong. She's acquitted herself well against top competition. Marlos Kunin, she did really well. And of course, Ronda Rousey, she did really well. 29 years old, trains at Team Hurricane Awesome. She's just a really strong girl. Good wrestling and good ground and pound. But, most of her wins are against opponents. Some of them, I don't even know if they have a strong winning record or a winning record at all.
So, wait, you're talking about Miesha Tate's?
No, Liz Carmouche.
Oh, Carmouche. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about Carmouche. So that's the problem. Her level of competition always gets me worried. I think she's a good fighter. I think she's a top female 135er. But, Miesha Tate definitely has a stronger resume. She's beaten, being the likes of like Marlos Kunin, Julie Kedzie and whatnot. But yeah, that's why I'm going with Miesha Tate to win this one. Okay, on to the prelims. John Albert fights Yeltsin Meza. This is kind of like a loser goes home match, or loser gets cut match.
From the UFC?
It looks like it. I mean,
it sucks.
John Albert is on a 3-fight losing streak. Yeah, Meza isn't on a losing streak, but he just lost to Chad Mendez. Got knocked out in the first round. I mean, it's tough to say if he'd stay after 2 losses in a row. No one knows who he is. I'll go with John Albert to win this one, though. 7-4 record. All of his wins and losses are by finish. He has 4 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub, and all 4 of his losses are by submission. 26-year-old, 3-fight losing streak, but he is a very game opponent. He acquitted himself really well against like a Scott Jorgensen and Ivan Menjivar, Good striking, good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. His cardio is kind of bad, though. Who do you got, man?
I got Yeltsin Meza.
Oh, yeah,
he's got quite a few fights under his belt, so I'm gonna go with experience on this one. But I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah,
man. He's actually a training partner of Benson Henderson at the MMA Lab.
Bendo.
Yeah, Bendo. So we'll see how he does for sure. Albert definitely is on not a great losing streak, so yeah, I can see where you're coming from here. Okay, next fight after that, we have Jorge Masvidal versus Ultimate Fighter winner Michael Chiesa.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh, shit, huh?
What
do we got
here? Good looking fight. Good matchup.
Yeah. Well, who do you got then? He says it's a great matchup. Who do you got?
I like Jorge Masvidal. I'm going to go with him. He is on a 2-fight win streak. Trains at American Top Team. Strong kickboxing. Good takedown defense. Improved grappling. I used to like him because, kind of saw him as a slacker. Didn't train, didn't prepare too hard for his fights. But I think he's kind of turned that around right now. He's got a family. He's got to put food on the table. It looks like his work ethic has picked up a bit. So, I like him, and I think he's going to be reaching his full potential. So I'm going to go with him.
Nice, man. In his last fight against Tim Means, a lot of people thought Means won because of his strikes from the bottom. But nonetheless, one thing I was happy about Masvidal was that he changed the game plan. The striking wasn't working for him, and so he actually took the fight to the ground against Means, and it proved successful and the right strategy. You don't want to do it against Michael Chiesa, who has a 9-0 undefeated record.
7 submissions.
7 submissions.
You don't want to be on the ground with that guy.
Yeah. He's Brazilian. He's only 25 and a strong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And if he takes the back, there's a good chance you're going to be choked out. However, I got Jorge Masvidal winning this one. He has shown really good takedown defense. Even watching like the Gilbert Melendez fight, for example. I mean, Melendez just couldn't take this guy down. He's always had strong takedown defense, and I think he can beat Chiesa on the feet. He honestly hasn't shown very good striking. So, yeah. Excuse me? Yeah. I got Jorge Masvidal winning this one.
Cool.
Okay, next fight after that, we have Danny Castillo versus Bobby King Green. You know what, man? This one's hard for me to call because Castillo is one of the guys I think I underrate. I don't think I pick his fights well. And even then, I'm underrating him again because I'm going to go with Bobby King Green. Because he's also someone I tend to like Bobby Green, actually. He had that upset win over Jacob Volkman in his last fight. 20-5 record, 7 wins by KO TKO, 9 wins by sub. He's 26 years old on a 5-fight win streak. Bobby Green, just a solid all-around guy. His wrestling's good. He actually shows some Greco-Roman wrestling sometimes. So he uses a lot. You'll see him do like clinch takedowns a good amount of times. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu solid and his striking solid. So I gotta go with Bobby King Green. What about you, man?
I'm going with Danny Castillo.
Last call, okay.
Yeah, last call Castillo. Trains at Team Alpha Male. Strong wrestling, good top control, good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, good stand-up. I think he's going to take it. Okay,
cool. Next fight after that, we got the battle between like what people call like the two underachievers as Mac Danzig fights Melvin Gillard. I took the shot on those guys, but like there's something about them that they're like really good, but there's this idea of like unfulfilled potential with these guys, with a lot of fans, because they are both really good fighters. Melvin Gillard was actually on the cusp of a title shot. Mac Danzig had some momentum coming off of The Ultimate Fighter, and here they are now on the prelims, pretty much, possibly even fighting for their jobs. But I'll go with Melvin Gillard to win this one. It's crazy how many fights this guy has, man. 30 wins, 12 losses, 2 draws, and 1 no contest. 19 of those wins are by KO or TKO. But 9 of his losses are by submission. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. He just changed his training camp to grudge. But, at his best, 1 punch KO power, 1 knee KO power, as what he showed Waylon Lowe not too long ago. Good kickboxing, heavy hands, Takedown defense is good. Kind of weak off his back, and he has mental issues.
Mental issues?
It's in cage, It's like fight IQ. Sometimes you gotta wonder if he mentally gave up, a couple times. That's what I mean with mental issues. It's like what's going on between his ears is sometimes why he loses fights. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I mean. Who do you got, man?
I got Melvin Gillard too. I don't know. I just like the way he fights. I think you mentioned all the
attributes,
the attributes, and his his strengths and weaknesses and stuff. But I didn't know the mental issue was a factor or an issue. But hopefully he's able to withstand all that and get the win.
Yeah, Danzig, he has good technical kickboxing. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu solid. 33 years old. Has a lot of fights himself. 21-10 record with 1 draw. He's a good all-around fighter, but I think I'll go with Gillard to win this one. Okay, next fight after that we have Ultimate Fighter alums from, I believe it's last heavyweight change, season 10, as Matt Meathead Mitrione fights the hybrid Brendan Schaub. Who do you got, man?
Meathead. I got the hybrid.
Yeah, the hybrid.
Schaub. Trains at Grudge. Good kickboxing, good wrestling, moves well for his size. Chin is a little bit glassy, but you know. I don't know.
Well, speaking of Chin, 3 losses by KO or TKO. One of them was from Roy Nelson, and he knocks everyone out. The next one after that was from Nogueira, who's not really known as a knockout guy. And the other one was from Ben Rothwell. And that was a bit embarrassing because when he's on the ground, it looks like he was like trying to reach for something that wasn't there as he was getting pummeled. And they have a lot of funny gifs of that. This one, it's actually tough for me to call. The reason why I am picking Schaub is because of Schaub's game plan against Lawler Johnson. He elected not to stand with him and instead decided to wrestle him. And Matt Mitrione has shown he doesn't have the best takedown defense. Trains at the Black Zillions. He does move well for his size and has some pretty heavy hands. His kickboxing's actually improving, being into camp actually. Yeah, when he threw a kick, it was really sloppy. When he throws a kick now, it looks really nice, really accurate. But I think Brendan Schaub is gonna use the Lawler Johnson strategy used against Lawler Johnson, take him down, ride the top, and get the win there. If it stays standing. Schaub has good stand-up. He actually has good boxing. And he moves well for size. And so does Mitrione. Mitrione hits pretty hard, though. But, I'll go with Brendan Schaub to win this one. Okay, next one after that, we got 2 veterans as Eve, the master of Thug Jitsu, Edwards, fights Spencer, the Kingfisher. You know what, man? I don't think I've ever... in the UFC, since his latest in the UFC, I don't think I've ever picked against Eve Edwards. I'm not about to start now.
How's he been doing?
Good. Actually, he's been good. I mean, even in fights against like Tony Ferguson, I picked Tony Ferguson to beat Eve Edwards, but so yeah, I have picked against the master of Thug Jiu-Jitsu at times.
Was that the last fight?
No. His last fight, I believe he knocked out Jeremy Stevens. One of the only guys to do that, too. The thing with the master of Thug Jiu-Jitsu, he's been doing good. Lost here to Sam Stout or Tony Ferguson, win here over like Jeremy Stevens, and whatnot. He's been doing good. He's a solid mid-tier guy. Lots of fights, 42 wins, 19 losses, 1 draw, 16 wins by KO or TKO, 17 wins by sub. He's still got it. 36-year-old, still got good striking, underrated grappling. Oh, he also lost his last fight. I believe he lost to Isaac Valley Flag, actually. But yeah, who do you got?
I got Spencer Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
He is on a 3-fight losing streak, but he's a veteran, and he pushes forward well. He's very aggressive. Striking is good, and I think we're gonna be able to snap this losing streak against Eve Edwards.
Yeah, this looks like a fun fight. There's a good chance he'll stay standing. I like Eve Edwards' overall kickboxing. He always had that highlight reel over Josh Thompson way back in the day. But he's also a good counter striker, and his grappling is greatly underrated. Next fight after that, we have another women's fight as the Iron Lady Jermaine de Randamie fights Julie Fireball Kedzie. I believe it's Fireball, if I'm not mistaken. Man, this one's tough because if it stays standing, you'd actually have to favor de Randamie being like a multiple-time Muay Thai world champion. Julie Kedzie, though, isn't bad in stand-up herself. She's mainly a kickboxer. 16-11 record. 3 wins by KO TKO, 3 wins by sub. She also has 7 losses by sub, and she's on a 2-fight losing streak. But she does train at Jackson's. Her submission defense isn't great. And her ground game isn't her strongest suit, just mainly for submission defense. It's not like she's terrible on the ground, per se. But her submission defense leaves a lot to be desired. She leaves stuff out, gets a little over-anxious at times. So she'll leave a limb out or something like that. But yeah, on the stand-up, it could be a lot of fun too. I'll go with Kedzie. I think she might even try and take this fight to the ground. Who do you got, man?
I got Julie Kedzie also. She trains at Jackson's. Strong kickboxing, weak submission defense. But I think she's going to outclass Jermaine Dera, whatever her last name is. Jermaine just didn't have that many fights under her belt. And so, there's still a learning curve.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Julie Kedzie.
Yeah, speaking of the learning curve with Randamie, 3-2 record, her most recent one against Hiroko Yamanaka, where she actually showed some improved grappling and some improved takedown defense, because she is training at AKA these days. So she's doing the right things as far as fixing her MMA game, but she is still very new. You got Julie Kedzie, who has 25 fights. She was the first person to fight Gina Carano in Strikeforce / Elite XC. Well, I forgot, was it Strikeforce? It was the first woman's fight on cable. But yeah, 25 fights versus 5 fights. Randamie, though, to her credit, her Muay Thai is really good and she hits really hard, but I'll go with Kedzie, just being a little more experienced. I think a bit more well-rounded as well. Okay, next fight after that, we have Ed Herman versus Trevor Smith. Ed Herman here. This one, I think, would definitively go to Herman. Trevor Smith, it is his first fight in the UFC. Herman's a good wrestler, good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Showing better hands as of late as well. Go with Ed Herman to win this one. How about you?
I'm going with Trevor Smith. He's big for his weight class.
Oh, yeah.
Good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Good wrestling. Weak cardio. It's his first fight in the UFC, and I typically don't like to go with the rookies, but I'm gonna go with Trevor Smith.
Okay, cool. And finally, Aaron Riley came back from the dead. I haven't seen this guy forever, as he fights Justin Salas. Both these guys actually have not fought forever. Aaron Riley last fought in September 2011. Justin Salas last fought June 2012. So these guys have been out for a while. I'll go with experience here. Aaron Riley's been around the block. 30-13 record with 1 draw. 5 wins by KO TKO, 14 wins by sub. He's 32 years old, trains at Jackson's. I'll go with Riley to win this one. Who do you got?
I'm going to go with Justin Salas in this ring rust matchup. Trains at Grudge. Good wrestling. Good top control. Like you said, he last fought in June 2012. So the rust on, his rust is going to be a little bit less rusty, but hopefully he's got what it takes.
Cool. Let's recap then, man.
All right.
Okay, Demetrious Johnson versus John Moraga. I got Demetrious Johnson.
I got Mighty Mouse.
Okay, Jake Ellenberger fights Roy MacDonald. I got Roy MacDonald.
I got Rory MacDonald.
Okay, Robbie Lawler fights Tarek Saffiedine. I got Tarek Saffiedine.
I've got Robbie Lawler.
Okay. Liz Gorilla Carmouche fights Misha Cupcake Tate. Who do you got, man?
I've got Cupcake.
I got Misha Tate as well. Okay, on to the prelims. John Albert fights Yeltsin Meza. I got John Albert.
I got Yeltsin Meza.
Okay. Michael Chiesa fights Jorge Masvidal. I got Jorge Masvidal.
I've got Jorge Gamebred Masvidal.
Okay. Danny Last Call Castillo fights Bobby King Green. I got Bobby Green winning this one.
I've got Danny Castillo.
Okay. Mac Danzig fights Melvin Gillard. Got Melvin Gillard winning this.
I've got Melvin Gillard as well.
Okay. Matt Mitrione versus Brendan Schaub. I'll go with the hybrid Brendan Schaub.
I'm going with Brendan Schaub.
Okay. Eve Edwards, the master of Thug Jitsu, fights Spencer the Kingfisher. I'll go with the master of Thug Jitsu, Eve Edwards.
I'm going with
Spencer, right?
Spencer Fisher, that's right.
Yep. Okay, Jermaine, the Iron Lady, Randamie, fights Julie Fireball Kedzie. I'll go with Julie Kedzie to win this one.
I'm going with Julie Kedzie.
Okay, Ed Herman fights Trevor Hot Sauce Smith. I'll go with Ed Herman. Short fuse. Yeah.
Trevor Smith.
Yeah, and finally, Aaron Riley fights Justin Salas. I'll go with Aaron Riley.
Go with Justin Salas.
Okay, So that's pretty much it for our predictions for UFC on Fox 8. If you have any predictions, just leave them below. And also, if we can plug Q's Lounge once again.
There you go, Rexy. Hopefully I'm earning my my pay right here.
There we go.
And then just a couple shout outs again. Thanks to my buddy Bruce for the beanie. I'll wear it after I get a haircut. And I just want to give a shout out to Rosemary from Australia. I'm working on getting FaceTime downloaded on my iPad right now, and then hopefully we can communicate.
Cool, man. Yeah, sounds good. So that's pretty much it for MMA for you. Thank you guys very much.